Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome to the Mckola and Rory podcast, episode number 10. We have reached the 10th episode, and it is an important episode today because Manchester United have lost 5-0 against Liverpool. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is on the ropes, and I have post traumatic stress disorder. We haven't planned this podcast, so apologies if this one is a little bit all over the place. We haven't planned it in the red corner, in the blue corner. Do you remember? None of that. We are just going into it today because there's nothing else to talk about apart from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But what we will do first, though, is of course introduce my co-host with the most, Rory, to the show. Rory, how you doing, brother?
A lot better than you, my friend. A lot better than you. I genuinely feel for you at the moment. It sounds fairly hollow because I generally enjoy your downfall. Of course, I do in a Manchester United context. But what you had to put up with yesterday, your team losing 5-0 at home to your bitterest of rivals, sat next to Lawrence McKenna on the kickoff, with me giggling away, with the Scousers singing songs about Paul Scholes and songs about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. It is a new low for a Manchester United fan, I think. So you do have my extreme, sincere condolences at the moment. But I must also say, there is a part of me that is enjoying it.
Of course, and I would expect nothing else, to be totally honest with you. And from a Liverpool perspective, like you just mentioned there, some of the songs and stuff I haven't heard because I haven't watched the game back. We can't hear what's going on during the game. But it was almost like the perfect day. Even like when that goal gets disallowed, it's like the perfect day for Liverpool. Horrible, horrible stuff, man.
Did
And
you see
yeah,
the
look, I,
reaction? Did you see the reaction? The reaction from the away end at the Ronaldo disallowed goal was as vociferous, as passionate, as wild as anything that Mo Salah did. They were enjoying your
mm,
downfall just as much as they were enjoying their own brilliance, and I love that.
I, that's football, isn't it? And if we were at
Hmm.
Anfield and they were going through a bad time, like they have done in the past when we've been winning leagues there and stuff, we've been rubbing it in as well. We've been doing exactly the same thing. So I totally get it. It hurts when the shoe's on the other foot, but I totally get it. And to be honest, like I said, I haven't heard most of that. I've not gone back and watched the game. I don't want to do any of those things because it is quite possibly. And thank God, by the way, you mentioned the kickoff show. I kind of have to thank Lars for not rubbing it in anymore because I don't know what would have happened. Like I was fortunate I could just sit there quiet. Do you know what I mean? Which I did a lot of the time. Um, because if that was City and I had Booby rubbing it in, I reckon it's fisticuffs on the kickoff.
However, Ad, do you know what? That's an interesting point because I think anybody that doesn't support Manchester United will find this quite interesting. I think when you're a fan of a club, you know where your loyalties lie, where your biases lie, and whatever. But what happened yesterday, is a thousand times worse than anything City could ever do to you, isn't it? Realistically.
Yeah, because it's City.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I
It's
mean. I
almost like you
mean,
just think,
yeah,
yeah, it was like when City win the league, it's like
yeah.
after 5 days, I don't hear much about it. You know what I mean? I don't really
No, that's
care
how
too
I
much.
feel. Yeah. And for
Um,
me, it's like when
and
Blackburn Rovers win the league. Like Blackburn Rovers win it, City win it. Fine, whatever. I wish it were
yeah,
Chelsea. If it's not Chelsea, it might as well be City. Fine.
yeah, I'd rather it not be. I'd rather be them than anyone else, which is a mad way
Yeah.
to look at it. But yeah, Liverpool are just the ones that I remember being there for the 4-1. Funnily enough, Ronaldo scored that day as well. Um, and I thought that was a bad day. I was there for the 6-1 against Manchester City. And I thought that was it's not going to get any worse than this. But
But you won the league both of those years, didn't you?
the weird things about those games is one, you're in a strong position like that. Two, you had Fergie there who, in the City game, for example, we go down to 10 men. Instead of going less shot up shot, he goes, we could still win this, and tries to attack and attack and attack, and we're just getting cut open on the break every time. And you kind of go, well, that's Fergie. He always goes for it. The next game will be fine. There's none of that this time around. There's none of that. There's nothing to cling to this time around in that it will be fine, because I think this is a performance, and Paul Scholes got it bang on midweek, that you could see coming. A result, sorry, that you could see coming based off the performances that we've seen. The disjointed, disorganised, the back four was all over the place. The goalkeeper saved us on multiple occasions. Without David De Gea this season, it would have been a lot worse, and we've heard that before on so many times. And this is a player that many people wanted to be replaced this summer. The midfield, not good enough, but not protected either. So far away from the front four. And all these things, yeah, they come down to training ground basics. Like, your back line being organised comes down to what you do on the training ground. Yes, in a game, a certain team can rip you apart. But if you go and watch the Everton goal, and you can go and watch the first goal that Liverpool scored yesterday, on Sunday, you'll see exactly the same things happening. Maguire misshaped, out of place. Luke Shaw covering up for him, running wildly out of position. The whole right flank being exposed, and it just being easy for a team to just shift the ball over there. There you go. You're free in goal now. You can score. And Everton did that twice to us. Tom Davies should have scored. You pass the ball, they get a goal which is offside. So
Yeah.
it's been
And do
something
you know
which has
what,
been
though?
a common theme, and we saw it last season as well.
You know when it's this bad, and I think this is a new low for Manchester United, particularly in under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. This is the pits. In terms
Yeah.
of what's next, everybody's talking now. What's next? Will they act? Like, sacking a Manchester United manager isn't something that the club's hierarchy generally takes particularly lightly. They don't do it swiftly. You know, as you've pointed out on the kickoff, they waited with Moyes. They wait until there is a time. And I think that it's down to four people, isn't it? There are four people that will make this decision. It's Ed Woodward, the two Glazers, and that fellow comically called Richard Arnold, who I always think is the bloke off GMTV, but isn't. Those four people are going to come together. Are you, and like within the Manchester United fan base, the conversations that you're hearing, the Twitter accounts that you follow, the people who go to games that you know that you rate, are people now generally saying enough is enough? Or is there still that loyalty to Solskjaer to persevere?
There will always be, and look, when I say this, Jose Mourinho also got this support. Van Gaal also got this support. Moyes also got this support. I remember being 3-0 down against Liverpool, yeah, under Moyes, and we did not stop singing. And like we back managers inside the ground, regardless of what your opinion is, you inside the ground, and I know there been boos at times, but inside the ground predominantly you sing for the team and all that, just get behind them. And I think a bit of it is a pride thing. Like, I think those fans that were left inside Old Trafford yesterday, and granted a lot of them left, but those that were left in there were singing their hearts out of, we can't let these Liverpool fans just have the whole of Old Trafford and just be singing, like, we need to do something here. So I think a little bit of it's pride, but Ole Gunnar Solskjaer we will always want him to do well within the ground. But I do think, and I am seeing like tweets or little messages or just people having conversations, and it feels over. It feels.
Do you know
like
Mourinho was sacked after a defeat to Liverpool?
Yeah.
I wonder if the fact that it's Liverpool, the poise of Liverpool, the prestige of Liverpool, and the relationship that they have with Manchester United, I wonder the fact that it was Liverpool for Mourinho, potentially Liverpool for Solskjaer, does the fact that it was Liverpool that did it make it a little bit more significant, amplify it?
If Liverpool win 2-0 yesterday, no. The manner of defeat, that image, I saw a screenshot of an image, of Old Trafford, the scoreline, the time of the game, which is like 50 minutes or something, and the whole of Sir Matt Busby Way was pretty. It looked like pre-match when everyone's heading in. Do you know what I mean? And it's like people sit up and take notice of that in directors' rooms and stuff. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's not, if you just lose and you lose 2-0, but the manner of defeat and then the shocking like footfall just leaving Old Trafford. And I don't blame any of those fans, by the way, because it's difficult. I wanted to leave the set at the kickoff. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's difficult to sit
Adam,
there and watch your team taking a thumping like that. But that picture, if you're one of the board of directors and you see that, I think that's where you go, we've got a problem here.